Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. And so those of you who have seen the channel and know what it's all about, you've noticed that I've done some wild camping, and I'm still very much a novice when it comes to wild camping. If you've seen my first video, wild camping, you'll understand why. It didn't quite go as well as I'd liked, but that was my fault. But anyway, I've been using the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, which is a brilliant tent. Absolutely love it. It's a fantastic tent. It's done me proud, especially in that first video. It probably saved my bacon. But I wanted something a little bit better quality. It has got one or two very minor flaws, the Cloud Peak 2. So I was looking for a tent with, a little bit better quality and round about the same price. So we've gone for the Wild Country Helm Compact 2 by Terra Nova, and I've read some really good reviews about it. Seen a lot of videos with people camping in it very successfully, even in bad weather. So that's my choice. You can see how small it packs down. I've not opened it at all yet, so we're going to unpack it. We're going to do a setup and a brief overview. I'm not being paid for this. I'm not being sponsored. I purchased this tent myself, so it's purely my own personal opinion. It won't be a full review. Obviously, I can't do that until I've tried it out in the field. But as I say, we're going to do a setup and an overview and see what it's like. I've also purchased the footprint to go with it. Well, these are like gold dust. It's advisable to get the footprint if you can. It does protect the ground sheet, and it is a semi-freestanding tent. When I say semi, it's when you've got the footprint down, you can't move it about. But without the footprint, you can move it about into a different position if needs be. So let's get started. So we just got it out of the bag, got the poles out, colour coordinated, red and blue, shock corded obviously, and these are 8.5mm poles, so a little bit thicker than the Cloud Peak 2, which are about 7mm I think, so it should be a bit stronger. These aren't the MSR groundhog style pegs with a star shape, just a normal shape peg, but look okay. We'll see how we go with those. Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm not sure there's going to be enough for the footprint as well, so we're going to use some of the Cloud Peak 2 pegs. On the ground sheet, it seems a lot thicker than the Cloud Peak 2 footprint. It looks much better quality. So we're going to start off, get the ground sheet down. Okay, that's the footprint down. It's just a case of laying the fly and the inner on top. I've used the pegs that come with the tent for the footprint, so we'll see how we get on with pegs. Let's do it. So the blue goes into the blue, coordinated on the tent. That's the poles in. Gives it some pretty good structure. I'll show you where the poles are clipped into. So yeah, the poles just clip into the, or lock into the outside rings. That's quite simple. So we just got to match it up with the footprint. And the inner is already attached, so the inner and fly attached together, which is obviously brilliant for setting up in bad weather. So we'll carry on. Okay, so we've matched it up with the footprint. And it's worth just noting that if you match it up with the blue poles going from end to end, it'll make it a bit easier for you. So all we need to do now is go around, tighten up the pegs a bit. You need to probably unpeg the ground sheet to tighten it up a bit. I'm not sure I like these style pegs, so it maybe I'll use the MSR groundhog style pegs. I don't know, we'll see how we get on. So we'll go around and we'll tighten it up. Yep, so we've gone round, just adjusted the pegs, tighten them up a bit. The loops on the footprint do need some stretching out a little bit, but it seems okay. And there's a couple of clips, one on each side of the pole there. Make it a little bit more rigid on this side. Got two vents on this side. Side. Wild Country by Terra Nova, Helm Compact 2. And then you can tighten up the tent even more, which is pulling the loops in a bit, tension it up a bit. Already done. Then you just got the guy lines, which will obviously add to the stability of it. We won't put them out today. I don't think there's any need. It's fairly straightforward. There's no wind here today. So far, quite impressed with that. It's a nice looking tent. The quality is definitely a little bit better than the Cloud Peak 2, I must admit. It's got the same hydrostatic head, 4,000 millimeters, but it does seem a little bit thicker. I think it's 68D polyester, and the ground sheet I think is 5,000 millimeters hydrostatic head. I think that's the same as the Cloud Peak 2. So we'll get inside and have a look. Toggle on the door there. Try and do this one-handed. go. And you can see the, well, it's not quite at the right angle, but the footprint comes right out into the vegetable as well, into the porch area. Keep your bits and pieces nice and dry. A 2-zip door. You see the mesh is about halfway up, so there's a lot less mesh in this than the Cloud Peak 2. So I think that's going to help in the colder months, definitely. They do say this is only a 3-season tent, but people have been using this in bad weather and cold weather, and have gotten really well with it. That's definitely going to help, not so much mesh. There isn't a skirt on it, but it does come down really low, the fly. Whereas on the Cloud Peak, you do tend to have a fair bit of a gap at the bottom. And yeah, it's very roomy. It's brilliant. It's slightly longer as well than the Cloud Peak. I think it's 225 centimeters. I'll double check that, put it up on the screen. Whereas the Cloud Peak, I think, is 210, so it is slightly longer. Pocket there in that corner. A pocket over here in this corner. Oh, there is a loop up there for hanging a lantern. You'll need a hook though to hang that up. If you've got flex tail like I use, you'll need a hook to hang that up. Then 2 doors. Door on the other side. Another vegetable area on this side. Not a bad size at all. And again, the footprint comes out into the vegetable as well, which is really handy. So yeah, as I said, the inner and the outer are attached, which is really good. It's nice and bright inside with this white. It's 105 centimeters tall, which I think is the same as the Cloud Peak 2. There's plenty of room to sit up in that. Yeah, I'm 6 foot, sitting up quite nicely with a bit of space at the top as well. And I think the width is about 130, which I think is the same. So you're going to get 2 people in here. Well, definitely me and my wingman, Ellis. And but two adults might be a bit of a squeeze, but definitely a very, very spacious one man. And I think it is, yeah, I think it is definitely going to be, it's going to be less drafty, that's for sure. I'm really pleased with that. And I've just noticed there's a clip in the door which you can fix together. Keeps the door closed, so you can open up the zip and it will keep it closed at the bottom. Could be quite useful. And we did have enough pegs, obviously. We're using the the same peg for the ground sheet, for the footprint, and the lines as well. So you've got enough to tie the guy lines out. So there we are. First impressions, really impressed. Lovely, sturdy, good quality tent, even with without the guy lines pegged out. It's rigid. It is slightly better quality, I think, than the Cloud Peak 2. I'm not dissing the Cloud Peak 2 at all. It's a fantastic tent, and I will continue to use it. Probably more spring, summer, and probably the Helm 2 in autumn and winter. Looking forward to trying it out though, so we may try it out in the next camp. Going to be doing a coastal camp in the next couple of weeks, so look out for that one. No, it's impressive, yeah. First impression's really good, really good. And it comes in around about the £200 mark, and prices do fluctuate a bit. You could get it cheaper than that. And the footprint is about £30, but they are like gold dust. You can't seem to buy them anywhere. I was lucky enough to be able to dig one out of the bottom of the Amazon warehouse, and they didn't seem to have any more after that. So if you do see them, grab them while you can. It is worth having. So thank you very much for watching. I hope it was useful to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks again.